Yeah, I don't want to blow your mind, but I'm not always right.
Why has full self-driving in particular been so hard to predict?
I mean, the thing that really got me, and I think is going to get a lot of other people, is that there are just so many false dawns with self-driving, where you think you got the problem, have a handle on the problem, and then nope, turns out you just hit a ceiling, and you're like, oh, it was trending up, and now it's sort of curving over, and you start getting to these what I call local maxima, where you don't realize basically how dumb you were. And then it happens again. You know, in retrospect, they seem obvious, but in order to solve full self-driving properly, you have to solve real-world AI. Because you say, like, what are the road networks designed to work with? They're designed to work with a biological neural net, our brains, and with vision, our eyes. And so in order to make it work with computers, you basically need to solve real-world AI and vision, because we need cameras and silicon neural nets in order to have self-driving work for a system that was designed for eyes and biological neural nets. You know, I guess when you put it that way, it's sort of like quite obvious that the only way to solve full self-driving is to solve real-world AI and sophisticated vision.
What do you feel about the current architecture? Do you think you have an architecture now?
But I actually am confident that we will solve it this year.
What are you seeing behind the scenes that gives you that confidence?
We're almost at the point where we have a high-quality unified vector space. Like in the beginning, we were trying to do this with image recognition on individual images. But if you look at one image out of a video, it's actually quite hard to see what's going on without ambiguity. But if you look at a video segment of a few seconds of video, that ambiguity resolves. So the first thing we had to do was sort of tie all 8 cameras together so they're synchronized, so that all the frames are looked at simultaneously and labeled simultaneously by one person, because we still need human labeling. So that at least they're not labeled at different times by different people in different ways, and then so it's sort of a surround picture. Then a very important part is to add the time dimension, so that you're looking at surround video. And you're labeling surround video, and this is actually quite difficult to do from a software standpoint. We had to write our own labeling tools, and then create an auto labeling. Create auto labeling software to amplify the efficiency of human labelers, because it's quite hard to label video. In the beginning, it was taking several hours to label a 10-second video clip. This is not scalable. Right. So basically, what you have to have is you have to have surround video, and that surround video has to be primarily automatically labeled, with humans just being editors of and making slight corrections to the labeling of the video, and then feeding back those corrections into the future auto labeler. So you get this flywheel eventually where the auto labeler is able to take in vast amounts of video and with high accuracy automatically label the video for cars, lane lines, drive space.
What you're saying is that you think that, I mean, the result of this is that you're effectively giving the car a 3D model of the actual objects that are all around it. It knows what they are, and it knows how fast they are moving. And the remaining task is to predict what the quirky behaviors are. That when a pedestrian is walking down the road with a smaller pedestrian, that maybe that smaller pedestrian might do something unpredictable, or things like that you have to build into it before you can really call it safe.
You basically need to have memory across time and space. So what I mean by that is, if you because you can't, the memory can't be infinite, because it's using up a lot of the computer's RAM, basically. So you have to say, how much are you going to try to remember? But like, if it's very common for things to be occluded. So like if you talk about, say, a pedestrian walking past a truck where you saw the pedestrian start on one side of the truck, then they're occluded by the truck.
Right.
But you need you would know intuitively. Okay, that pedestrian is going to pop out the other side most likely,
Right.
and
The computer doesn't